All right, welcome everyone. So today you'll need a bolster and a tissue, right? We'll start off with some vigorous pranayama practice just to clear the energy, and then we'll go into rest and then meet up again into pranayama and meditation at the end, right? So a bolster is necessary or two folded blankets. Good. All right, let's find our seat. Take your tissue with you. If you are congested, you can already blow the nose a little bit. Good. And we'll be seated for about the first 5 to 10 minutes. So you can be in a chair. You're just not feeling the ground today. Let your mind rest into your body as you dim the eyes. So for today's class in the restorative postures, I won't be speaking much. It'll just be a time for you to be with yourself. I'll guide you into the postures, and guide you out. But in the space in between, it's just about experiencing the gentle unfolding of whatever is happening. So as you inhale, let's bring the palms together in front of the heart. For our Ayur mantra for health and well-being in all the spheres. Om Om Ayur Dehi Om Pranam Dehi Om Apanam Dehi Om Dhyanam Dehi Om Chakshur Dehi Om Shrotram Dehi Om Mano Dehi Om Vacham Dehi Om Atmanam Dehi Om Pratishtham Dehi Om Mam Dehi Om Mai Dehi Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Relaxing the hands down, start to establish a long spine by lifting the base of the skull, right? Decompressing the weight of gravity on your spinal column through the upward lift, upward momentum, and then the downward relaxation of your tailbone to lengthen the lumbar spine so that the curves of the spine are not as exaggerated. And when the spine feels a bit more spacious, then begin to breathe in Samavriti. Even inhale, even exhale. Touch of Ujjayi. Little constriction. You can feel the rubbing sensation at the throat. In the Yoga Sutras, it's really not recommended that we go to the mind directly. We access the mind through indirect means, the breath, the sensations, contemplation, pranayama. So that we are not overwhelmed by the contents of the mind. And when we're overwhelmed, we just go into autopilot. We sometimes disassociate or feel as though we're not in control. So that's why we have all of these other tools to help us gain mastery and clarity. With your next inhale, feel the arms lifting almost with the wave of your inhalation as you reach your arms up, palms facing one another, or if it's comfortable, interlace the fingers, press the palms upwards. I'm getting ready for Kapalbhati or Vishamavritti. Vishamavritti is a longer exhalation, tonifying the muscles of the abdomen. As you breathe out, maybe in for 4, out for 8. If you're choosing to do Kapalbhati, we'll do 54 rounds or anywhere from 36 to 54, whatever is comfortable for you. Inhale. Hold the breath lightly. Drop Mula Bandha if you're practicing Kapalbhati, and then begin. Forceful exhale, passive inhale, or Vishamavritti. Take your time. If you're breathing Kapalbhati and your breathing becomes irregular, it's time to stop and re-regulate your nervous system. Whenever you're finished, the arms will lightly caress down. Just extend the elbows and hold on to the fronts of the knees. Bring the chin down slightly. As you inhale, just feel the space of the heart expanding out to the sides and down through the arms, into the fingertips. And as you breathe out, back into the heart space. So breathing in from the heart out through the arms and fingers. And as you breathe out, back in. Good. And gently flutter the eyes open, right? We'll do another vigorous pranayama. So again, if you feel like there's anything in the nostrils, just blow the nose, right? Clear the nostrils. We're going to be forcefully exhaling through one nostril and then slowly inhaling through the other nostril, right? So I'm going to bring my hands into Vishnu Abhrigi Mudra, hand towards the face, folding down the peace fingers towards the palm, right? So I'll just demonstrate once. I'll inhale. I'll close my right nostril and forcefully exhale out my left, any amount of force that's comfortable for you. And then I'll close my left and inhale very slowly up through my right nostril. And as you inhale, maybe the spine gets longer and straighter. Okay, so we'll do that 3 times one direction and 3 times the other direction. So let's take a deep breath in together. Close the right nostril, forcefully exhale through the left. Close the left, slow, deep inhalation through the right. As slow, as tapered as possible. A fine thread of prana. Fill up to the top. When you're ready, close the right. Exhale, forceful through the left. The head could even come down towards the chest if you like. And then inhale through the right. You're moving faster or slower than me. Don't have to move at the same pace. As you breathe in, the spine grows longer. And then when you're ready, close the right. Forceful exhale through the left. And then slow, deep inhale to the right. Good. And then release the hand down for a moment. 3 resting breaths. Relax the eyes, any constriction in the forehead. And then we'll switch the rotation. So we'll forcefully exhale to the right and slowly inhale through the left. So bring the hand back to the face. Take a deep breath in, close the left nostril, forceful exhale through the right nostril. And then inhale through the left. You might notice one nostril is wider, more open. And then forceful exhale through the right. And inhale slowly. Maybe that inhale can slow down even more through the left. As you inhale slowly, the mind moves inwards into meditation. And then again, forceful exhale through the right. And slow inhale through the left. Clearing the sinuses, clearing any of that existential gunk that creates a false impression. Take the hand down and breathe naturally. False sense of I, asmita, this delusion of who I am or what I am, right? Pranayama has this incredible ability for us to break down the barrier of this false I. Good. And then blink the eyes open. Now maybe the nostrils, the eyes are a little bit more clear, nostrils, breathing is a little bit more clear. You'll stretch out your legs. You'll take your bolster to the top of your mat, leave a little bit space for your head and the tops of your shoulders. We're going to come into supported Matsyasana, right? So the bolster is going to lie across my middle rib cage. The tops of my shoulders are going to come down onto the ground, and the top of my head, the back of my head is also going to come down to the ground. And then my elbows can be in a little bent 90-degree angle if that's comfortable. The knees can be bent. This can be quite a deep, for me at least, it's a very deep posture because of all of the strain in my middle back. So I need my knees bent. Others of you could stretch your legs long and let the legs relax, maybe away from one another. Good. Now, in the traditional fish, the chin is up, right? The top of the head is on the ground. But here in the supported fish, the back of the head is touching the ground and the throat is neutral. We're focusing on the opening of the broadening of the heart, dipping down into the throat center. Right? So make sure that you have those tops of the shoulders on the ground so that you're fully supported. The sacrum is on the ground. If for any reason the body posture is not allowing the sacrum to rest, you can even slide a blanket or another block, something lower underneath the sacrum so that it touches down. This depends on how big your bolster is. And just feel this expanse in the upper chest region. Right, for any reason, this is just, like I said, it's an intense posture. If it's not working for you, you can come into supported bridge instead, slide the bolster underneath the sacrum, and just let there be a softer back bend. So you choose. And then let your eyes close. And then let's just start with a few sighs out the mouth. So you'll inhale and then exhale out the mouth. So any clenching or reaction of the body against the posture can soften. Sometimes when we enter into restorative postures, the body goes immediately into fight or flight. So signaling to the body that all is well. And you might have to do this for a few breaths. Or if you feel ready, then you just close the mouth and let your breathing be relaxed. You don't have to breathe in samavritti, just relax breathing and let the mind turn into observation mode. For the next minute or two, we'll stay here in silence. Start to hone your awareness on your breathing again and maybe bring the breath into a pattern of 1 to 1. Right? It's not necessary or even possible, maybe, that the mind was totally still. Maybe there were a lot of thoughts, but it's just an opportunity to let the mind work things out. And they're a part of you to just observe that, how the mind moves, the movement of your mind, the nature of your thoughts. We're not here to have completely an empty mind. A very high state, very different state of awareness. But here it's enough that we just let things work out. So a few breaths of complete awareness on this inhale and exhale. Almost like flushing out what just was. And then if the eyes are closed, start to just rapidly blink the eyes for 10 to 20 blinks. And then maybe again, breathing through the nose and out through the mouth as you start to move the fingers. And you'll walk your feet over to the right side and then drop the knees over to the left as you roll all the way onto the left side. You're still on the bolster. And then you'll just lift yourself up slightly and then shimmy your way to the middle of the bolster on your left side. Yeah. We're going to start to open up the side rib cage, and then you can either bend your elbow and hold your head in your left hand, or take the left arm long and drop the head down onto the left arm. So see what is comfortable for your body shape. And then the right hand can be on the bolster, or you inhale, reach the right arm up, and then all the way back behind you, and maybe palm on palm, or hold the left wrist in the right hand. Again, in any position, maybe the left elbow in the right hand, so you really feel the opening of the right side body. Bent knees is more restorative, long legs is more active. So you can choose. Maybe somewhere in between, and then take a few breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. These longer holds and this gravitational release of the body can be sometimes a little overwhelming, can bring up a lot of emotion, a lot of impatience. So we counteract that with tolerance, love, and care. You just feel the gentle pressure of the bolster against the left side ribs. Whatever has been locked up in there, slowly giving a chance to release. Maybe it's just eons and eons of pain or holding. And then when you're ready, the mouth can gently close and let your breath be just normal, natural breathing, just like we do in meditation. No change of breath pattern. And shift the gears of the mind to observation mode. Observe thoughts, observe sensations, observe anything that's happening in the now. For about a minute or two, again in silence. And then slowly begin to lengthen your breathing to 1 to 1 Samavritti and focus the full mind on the breath. Every inhale, the turning, every exhale, the turning. Learning how to rest in a new way. The legs are long, bend the knees. The head is down on the arm, bend the elbow, hold the head for a moment, giving a little space for the side of the neck. And then you'll find your way to roll back onto your back and then over onto the other side. Take your time. You might feel a little bit discombobulated, right? There's no sometimes graceful way to move between restorative postures, right? You just kind of find your way and then you relax the whole right side rib cage onto the bolster, and either you support the head with a hand or you with the arm long and left arm up overhead, any amount you like, legs straight if you like, or bent knees, a softer release. So we're really focusing on the rib cage that surrounds the Anahata chakra, the heart center. Cage is protective, but sometimes it stiffens in its protection. Sometimes in protecting, it doesn't allow you to feel. So let yourself feel as much as possible in this moment as you inhale through the mouth and exhale. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth for a few rounds of breath. Maybe you feel the need to do that the whole time. That's fine too. And then when you're ready, you can close the mouth and just breathe softly through the nostrils, letting the mind flush itself out. Whatever craziness, nonsense, is in there, let it just, express itself. Or maybe it's more still, more quiet. Let it be as it wants to be for the next minute or two. See how you are in silence with yourself. And then that extra attention on the breath. And notice how you feel when I start speaking. Is it a relief or a distraction? Smooth inhale, smooth exhale. Then add a bit of wakefulness. Maybe the eyes open or the toes wiggle. So we move through the back, the sides, and now we'll roll to the abdomen in a variation of Makarasana. The bolster will be right underneath the chest at the front floating ribs. Your forearms will be down on the ground. Again, if any of these postures feel uncomfortable, you can always remove the bolster and just do the posture. Sphinx pose. Right. And then you can drop the head completely so that you really have the crown of the head towards the ground, and it feels really unhinged a little bit to keep the head down like that. You can roll up another blanket or take a block underneath the head, meditation cushion. That actually feels quite nice. Head supported. And then the ribs supported in the front of the body. And then again, a few inhales through the nose and out through the mouth. There might be a tendency to hold the shoulders up as you exhale out the mouth, really drop the shoulders completely so that there's no feeling of having to hold yourself up or put any effort in the pose. Might take a few breaths to feel comfortable enough to do that. Good. And then again, the mouth will close and the breath will drift slowly in and out of the nostrils as you close the eyes and move inwards for about a minute or two in silence with yourself. And then start to feel the lengthening and slower control of the breath in Samavriti. Just watch how Samavriti maybe awakens you to the present moment again after your mind drifted quite a ways away. Energize into your forearms, and then you'll lift the head, right? You can take the palms onto the ground anywhere that feels comfortable, and then press yourself up off of the bolster, and then come to Sukhasana, sitting upright. And really recommend you sit against a wall or have at least some support for your lower back. So even if you're normally not using the wall, just scoot back onto a wall or onto the back of your sofa and just, it's like, oh, why am I not always doing this? So that you don't have to try and you can really just focus on lack of effort and the way the breath is in the body. Yeah, anything that you can just lean up against a little bit. And then your palms can be face down on the lap or reaching for the knees. Chin slightly down. Take your time. And now that we're seated upright, just experience that rib cage in all directions, expanding, and in all directions, contracting. Maybe it feels like there's a little bit more permeability. Not so closed down, open yet firm. We'll start to practice Dirga Swasana Pranayama, or 3-part breathing. Experiencing the breath in the 3 parts of the torso, the lower abdomen, the middle abdomen, and then the chest. Yeah. As you sit here, you might find, oh, I need a blanket, I need more supports. Get everything in place. Taking off your glasses if you wear them. With your next breath in, start to feel the expansion of the lower abdomen, up to the middle abdomen, diaphragm area, and then all the way up into the chest, the lungs, the collarbones, maybe even the tops of the shoulders, all expanding. And then as you breathe out, relaxing from the shoulders down, you might feel like a wave or just everything expanding and contracting at once. Again, breathing in and expanding, maybe from the bottom up. And breathing out and relaxing from the top down, so that you're really utilizing the entire torso in the way you breathe. And just continuing this pranayama. Notice if the way that the breath flows through these 3 parts feels staggered or disjointed, or if there's a smooth transition. Maybe some places it's smooth and other places it feels like a jump. Just notice that as you continue to breathe, bridging those connections between the lower abdomen, the mid-abdomen, the chest. Feeling the side body, the back body also participating in the way you breathe. You might find that 1-to-1 breathing suits you here, or 1-to-2 breathing suits you better. You choose. You don't have to pay too much attention to the ratio, just to the nature of the rise and fall of this wave-like contraction of breath. And then with your next exhalation, just relaxing the pranayama, breathing normally. And we just bring our mind seated upright to different points in the body, energizing them, clarifying them, healing them. Starting with the center of the forehead, feeling, seeing, or sensing prana here. Maybe a blue star-like point of light. The inner corners of the eyes. The base of the nostrils. The dip of the throat. Centers of both shoulder joints, alive, awake. Centers of the elbows. Centers of the wrists. Centers of the palms, feeling the sensation. The tips of all 10 fingers. And traveling back up the arms in one breath to the dip of the throat as you exhale to the center of the chest. Solar plexus or navel center, pelvic center, both hip joints, seeing, feeling, or sensing, centers of the knees, centers of the ankles, soles of the feet, the tips of all 10 toes. With one inhalation, travel all the way back up the body to the center of the head, softening the outer lines of the forehead so that the mind can rest here in the waking state. The processing, the receiving of information, slowing down, calming. To the center of the throat. All the possibility expressed through the voice being reserved now, holding that potential to the center of the heart. Resting the mind as though laying it down in the most inviting bed. Into the deepest sleep you've ever had while awake. Body is breathing. Awareness is aware. The whole world turning around you, moving with the pulse of life, yet accessing a single point of stillness in the heart. And maybe hearing from the inner voice the mantra, Om, Om, Om. Start to take a deep breath from that center point of stillness, expanding out into the universe, becoming form, shape, activity. Exhale completely, arrive fully in the boundary of your body. Move the fingers and toes. Remember that boundary. As you inhale now, reach the fingers out to the sides and all the way up. Eyes open or eyes closed. And exhale, palms together and down the center line to the heart center in Anjali Mudra. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Surrendering your body to Mother Earth, thanking the earth for holding you, releasing you. Inhaling to rise as you rub the palms together. And create a little heat for the massage of the eyes first, forehead, cheeks, waking up. Maybe you rub the face a little vigorously, a little dry washing of the face. And blink the eyes open. Coming back. Coming back from restorative practice or yoga nidra practice. It might feel a bit different. Takes a little bit time to readjust to your surroundings, so you can do that with a drink or food. Right? Helps you to ground again so that you back in your feet, back in your legs. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all. Hope you enjoyed.